Hello, I'm Georgina Wark from PraxisAurl and I'm the Professional Development Programme Manager. I'm joined today by Adam Stoten. Thank you, Adam, for joining me. And Adam is the Chief Operating Officer for Oxford University Innovations. Adam, welcome and thank you for your time.
Pleasure, George.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about RTTP, what that means for you personally and for your team, and broadly for your company, for OUI. So Adam, maybe you can tell me a little bit more about your role at Oxford.
Sure. So Oxford University Innovation is the university's commercialisation office. So we have a vision of creating a world-leading innovation ecosystem with the university right at its heart. And so how do we achieve this? Well, our role really is to support academics in translating the expertise, the ideas, the IP arising from their research into new products, new services that have some meaningful societal impact. In terms of my role as Chief Operating Officer, I have day-to-day responsibility for leading the licensing, spin-out, startup activity here, as well as the consulting services group, which helps academics provide their expertise outside the university, and various other support functions here in terms of finance, marketing, and operations.
So a multifaceted team.
Yes.
Multifaceted role.
Indeed.
So how does RTTP fit for you personally?
So RTTP, I believe, is really important in terms of being an internationally recognised standard that can demonstrate the competence, a certain degree of success and ability within a KE role. And in terms of the current climate, I think institutions' knowledge exchange capability is really coming under the microscope more than at any point in the past. We have the knowledge exchange framework coming, and I see RTTP as being one really important way of giving government, industry and investors real confidence that we can deliver knowledge exchange in a highly competent and effective manner.
Thank you. And I understand congratulations are in order because you've recently been accredited with RTTP yourself.
That's right, yes, I was very pleased to attain this, and I think that speaks to one of the other benefits of RTTP, and that's a sense of pride and recognition that an individual, whether it be me or anybody else, has achieved a certain amount in their KE career. And that's certainly the kind of benefit that I'm communicating to our wider team here at OUI, and I'm encouraging everybody here in the company who could qualify to apply for and hopefully attain RTTP status.
So you say your wider team. So could you tell me a little bit more about your wider team? Who would be appropriate?
Well, we have all of, I guess, what one would call our technology transfer activity, so our licensing, our spin-out creation, but we also have our consulting services group, which is an enormously important part of our organisation and the university in terms of translating the expertise within the academic population into external impact in society. We also have members of our support groups, for example, in the operations team, who would potentially qualify for RTTP. So, I don't see it as being tech transfer specific, and I know historically there have been some concerns that the nomenclature of RTTP and its sort of historical tech transfer focus have not felt as inclusive as they might in terms of the wider KE community and related roles. However, I'm really keen that we really look beyond the acronym and what the letters used to stand for, and see RTTP as a standard that has this wider significance and relevance.
Thank you. So you mentioned there's so many different parts of your organisation, so many different areas that could be applying for RTTP, and it's great that you're not forcing people down a route. So how do you see that working? What sort of support is there?
So, I mean, you're right, we don't mandate RTTP status. It's really important that individuals see the value in attaining this and want to do it themselves. That said, there's a huge amount of internal support available within OUI. I mean, a lot of our learning and development activity is done with a sort of peer-to-peer support. That could be in a formal sense or through informal mentoring. And I'd see the same sort of philosophy applied to RTTP status in terms of individuals applying through the achievement overview route. I'm sure there'll be plenty of support for each other in helping craft really strong case studies for that route.
Thank you. So clearly you're building and developing a world-class knowledge exchange team, and would I be right in saying that you feel that RTTP is just one way of acknowledging that?
Yes, I think it's a really important way, and my aspiration is that it becomes embedded into our sort of wider learning and development support for employees within OUI. And that support takes many different forms, both in terms of internal training, but also external support from the likes of PraxisAurl, from whom we benefit greatly from the courses that are run, and enjoy contributing to their delivery as well. I think one really important point is that in terms of our approach to recruiting into OUI, what I can't see is us ever having a hard prerequisite for RTTP status. Clearly it would be something that would be of interest and value on an individual CV, but I think it's incredibly important that we as a community remain very open to bringing people into knowledge exchange from the private sector or from other parts of the economy, and that we use their fresh perspective, their new skill sets to enhance what we do. So would never want RTTP to be perceived as a barrier to entry into knowledge exchange.
That's great, thank you. And finally, Adam, do you feel that there's anything more that PraxisAurl can be doing to provide support for people going for RTTP?
Well, I think it's great that PraxisAurl is so active in promoting RTTP, and unquestionably there is more work to be done there in raising awareness of its value, both within the KE community but also outside of it, so that when they see somebody with RTTP status, they really understand what that means and the benefits associated. Beyond that, I mean, I think Praxis provides great support in terms of the courses that you offer, and we look forward to continuing to avail ourselves of those. Around RTTP specifically, I would expect that for OUI, the primary route to attain RTP status will be through the achievement overview, the crafting of a case study, and that might be an area where support from PraxisAurl would be helpful in enabling individuals to understand what makes a really compelling case study. So that might be one area to look at.
Great, we'll take that on board. Adam, thank you so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, George.